Present day, everyone. Today, we are going to proceed to the discussion of the new topics under the Module 3. These are the Linguistics Universal, Universal Grammar, Standard English, Catch-use concentric circles, and define accent and receive pronunciation, and also discuss the four major varieties of English. And these are the American English, British English, Australian English, and the African American English. And lastly is to describe or discuss the Philippine English. The first one that we are going to discuss is the Linguistics Universal. Linguistics Universal is a process that occurs systematically across natural languages. For instance, all languages have nouns and verbs. If it is spoken, it has vowels and also consonants. Uh, Research on this area of linguistics typically tied with the study of linguistics typology, which aims or focuses on the study and classification of languages according to their structural features. And then the field originates from the discussions influenced by Noam Chomsky's proposal of universal grammar. The second one is the universal grammar. It is a theory in linguistics that is usually credited to Noam Chomsky that suggests that the ability to learn language is already built into the human brain from birth, regardless of the language. According to his theory, he believed that humans are born with an innate ability to learn languages. And also, according to his theory, uh, the basic structures of language is already encoded in the human brain at birth. The theory suggests that every language has some of the same laws. The next one is the Standard English. Standard English is the English that, with respect to spelling, grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary, is substantially uniform, though not devoid of regional differences, that is well established by usage in the form or informal and informal speech and writing of the educated, and that is widely recognized as acceptable wherever English is spoken and understood. Standard English is the variety of English that is variety of the English language that is usually used as the national norm of the English speaking countries. As we all know, the English language originated in England, which, uh, which later on spread across the globe through the way of trade and colonization. We also know that language is not static, which means the language is constantly changing because of the different factors, which results in different varieties to be produced. And the English language became later on as the lingua franca of the world. Now, we are going to discuss or define accent. Accent is a distinct mode of pronunciation of a language, especially one associated with a particular nation, locality, or social class. For instance, the American English has a little bit difference or different accent as opposed to British English. And also, accent is a distinct emphasis given to a syllable or word in a speech by stress or pitch. So now we are going to discuss the received pronunciation or RP. Received pronunciation is an accent of the Great Britain. It is regionally neutral middle class accent of England. So when we say regionally, it is being spoken. The accent is spoken in different parts or in different regions of the country. Some scholars refer the received pronunciation as the Queen's English or the Queen's English. Yes. However, study says some scholars says that it is not the same because the Queen's English different uses different accent, and then it is an accent. The RP uses the standard English. It also reveals the background of a person,
not the place. And then the RP, or the receipt pronunciation, it is spoken in clip and precise tones. RP, or receipt pronunciation, also adopts evolution. For instance, uh, the the accent, or the words, or the grammatical rules back then, the long vowels had been shortened in our in the present, and then there are the diphthongs have been shortened into a monophthong. For instance, the word poor back then is a diphthong. They pronounce it as poor, as poor, two syllables. However, in the present time, they have shortened the diphthong into a monophthong. So the word poor, which is a two-syllable word, became poor, which is a one-syllable word.
Now, we are going to discuss the three concentric circle model of Kakru. So the three concentric circle model represents the type of spread, patterns of acquisition, and also the functional domain in which English is used across cultures and languages. The three concentric circles consist of inner circle, outer circle, and also the expanding circle. The inner circle consists of countries or such as UK, United States of America, and USA, where English is traditionally the native language of those countries. The second one is the outer circle, which consists of countries such as India, Singapore, and also the Philippines. It is where the country has their own native language, but the English as their secondary language. The third one is the expanding circle, which consists of countries such as Saudi Arabia, China, and Russia. And English language is a foreign language considered to them. So now we are going to discuss the four major varieties of the English language. The first one is the American English. American English is a dialect of the English language, used mostly or usually in the United States of America. It is estimated that uh, two-thirds of the native speakers of the English language usually settles in the United States. The English language is also known as the United States English. In addition, the use of English in the United States of America has been inherited from the British colonization. As we all know, that the uh, English language originally comes from the UK, specifically in the country of or in the region of England. The American English, or we could also say the AME, is one of the first major variety, the English language that developed outside of Britain. So the next one is the British English. It is a term used to distinguish the form of the English language used in the British Isles from forms used elsewhere. It includes all varieties of English used within the Isles, including from uh, the region of England, Scotland, and even Wales and the Ireland. So the British English is also known as the UK English, or also known as the Anglo English. The next one is the Australian English. It is a set of varieties of the English language native to the Australia. It is the country's common language, or and de facto national language. AE, or the Australian English began to diverge from British and Irish English after the first split established the colony of New South Wales in 1788. So lastly is the African American English. The African American English, also known as the Black English, is a set of English sociolects spoken by most black people in the United States and many in Canada. Commonly, it refers to as a dialect continuum ranging from African American vernacular English into a more standard American English. And lastly, we are going to describe or discuss the Philippine English. Philippine English is any variety of English native to the Philippines, including used by the media or vast majority of educated Filipinos and English speakers in the Philippines from the Asian adjacent or from the adjacent Asian countries. English is taught in schools and regarded as one of the two official languages of the country, the other being the Filipino. The Philippine English developed distinct features of grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, and discourse determined by the native languages and culture of its Filipino speakers.